Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today's my topic is what are the different models of curriculum. So it is very difficult to summarize this one lecture in one lecture because the modeling of the curriculum was started since I think 1940, and now it is more than 82 years, but still we are not sure which one model is the perfect model. I am Professor Mulazim San Bukhari. I am highly obliged that you have given me the time to present something about the models. Happy New Year, seasonal greeting 2023, and goodbye to 2022. I pray from Allah that the next coming year should be free from the COVID, free from the diseases, and may Allah bring this year upon us with true faith, good health, prosperity, and the protection from the devils. This is my wishes. A good curriculum changes the face and the fate of the nation. That's why it's very important to design the meetings. Today's learning objective is, at the end of this session, we expect the students will know how to define models and their importance, identify the concept of each and every models, advantages and disadvantages of the model. What is the curriculum? Curriculum is designed, planned for learning that requires the purposeful and the proactive organization, sequencing, and management of the interaction among the teachers with students and content knowledge we want students to acquire. Curriculum is not a simple thing in my language, in my understanding. It's comprised of so many things. I have summarized this in 6 paragraphs, SLAST. From the first syllabus, it is the syllabus, and L is the learning objectives, and A is the assessments and the evaluation process. In learning objective, we also include the contents, the topics, the scopes, and the sequences. And for the S is the strategies, the teaching and the learning strategies. And the T is the timetable, and the C, the atmosphere, the systems. So curriculum is a complex thing. It is a plan, it is a journey. What is the importance of this curriculum models? The model serves as a guide to action, outline approaches, methods, and procedures for implementation. The curriculum gives you order to process, targets needs and characteristics of a particular group of the learners, I mean students. The model results in greater efficiency and productivity. There are so many designs of the curriculum. When I was a student, there was teacher-based centers, teacher-centered model, teacher-centered curriculum, that is called traditional or conventional. Nowadays, we have improved it, that is called student-centered or integrated models. There are so many other models in different institutions: problem-based centered curriculum, competency-based model skill based, I think. Outcome based attitudes, behavior wise, that includes the behavior and the attitudes. System based models is still hybrid systems. I'll think they are going to improve from the traditional to the integrated models. What is model? A model is a model is a format for curriculum design developed to meet unique needs, context, and purpose. In order to address these goals, curriculum developer, designers reconfigure or rearrange one or more key curriculum components. But remember, there is no one model which is ideal or the best model for all situations, and no one model may suit a full the program. Each has its vision within its own time and context. Always ask what is the purpose before. This is very, very important. For selection of any model for any institutions, the basic thing you ask, what is the purpose of your institution to select the model? Curriculum should simply to be fit to purpose and the contents are place of stay. Its place and tape. Regularity reflecting on the strengths and the weakness of your own curriculum. You should have also so many designs, so many models of the curriculums that I have shown in this slide. But in my opinion, if I broadly classify the models there and divide it into two models, one is the traditional and conventional model, teacher-based, and other is the integrated model. Teacher-based model, this model focus on the content of the curriculum. The subject-centered design corresponds mostly to the textbook returns for the specific subjects, classroom, lectures, practicals, that all the times encircled around the teachers. The curriculum can also be recognized around subject centers, subject-based, by focusing on certain process, strategies of life skills such as problem solving, decision making, and teamwork. Teacher-centered curriculum, the teacher subject-centered curriculum can be focused on the traditional areas and the traditional disciplines, interdisciplinary topics that touch on wide variety of the fields, on process such as problem solving, on cold teaching students to criticals. There were so many benefits, but there are also so many drawbacks. Teacher-centered courses are contents, learning activities, assessment, learning objectives, learning goals. The contents, what do I know? What is the importance of this field? Learning activity. How can I organize all this contents? Assessments. How can I test what I have taught? What is my learning object? What did teacher them? And what are the learning goals of this team, the students' class? Objective of the teacher center was to transfer cultural heritage, to represent the knowledge, to impart the information. Different stages of that were designed for the teacher center, subject to be taught, topic areas within to be covered, determination of the objectives, detecting upon the learning experiences, and organizing the experiences, evaluations, examination methods, long essays, short essays based, MCQ based. So there were so many disadvantages. ignores interest of the students. There was burden on the students. The teachers are going to teach and teach. This was not according to the need of the students. No process of the insight of the thinkings, knowledge, visions, remote memories. Students always forget it, what the teacher has taught. Neglect social and problems and demands in this advanced social media era. Another model is student-centered model curriculum. It is centered on the certain aspects of the learners themselves. It may explore the learner's own life, or family history, or the local environment. There are so many advantages. It gives power to the learners, students. They are individuals, they are the main stakeholders of this one. To construct constructiveness element of this approach honors the social and the cultural context of this learner. It creates a direct link between the classrooms and teacher and the learners according to the need. But so there are students are immature, and if we all depend on it, it often relies on the teacher's ability to create a select material appropriate to the learner's best. Teachers may also find it difficult to strike an acceptable balance among the competing needs of the interest and the students. These are the difference that student-centered model, the traditional model, student-centered, while the traditional was teacher-centered. It is also called systematic, and that is called the traditional. It is problem-based, while teacher-centered was the passive acquisition, clinical practice-based. It is integrated, while it is discipline-based, related to the systems, integrated. The student center is systemic, is commentary-based, while it is hospital-based. The student center is elective. It's while it is standardized, they enhance learning according to interest of the field. Systematic, while it is opportunistic. Note, the community-based means learning situation is the community, the scope of the work, so the exposure, the GPs about the spectrum of the diseases enhances the skill. So it makes more expert specialists in this way as compared to. What are the learning goals? What are the learning objectives? What were the contents? What are the learning activities and the assessment? This was the student center based this one. So there are difference between two systems that I have described briefly. These are the what was the advantage, what was the disadvantage. So, but I think in spite of this, the student-centered curriculum is better as compared to the. So this was another problem-based centers. It's some institutions, they are running the problem-based centers. It has its own advantages. It has its own advantages. It depends the types of the problems to the explored maybe include the life situations, solving the real problem, the problem that resolve around the life at given schools, problems selected from the local issues, philosophical and psychological they may be. As I told you that there are integrated systems that we are teaching in Muzaffarabad Medical College, Azad Jammu Kashmir, Muzaffarabad Medical College. It is almost spiral models. Integrated models are three types. One is the horizontal models, other is the vertical models, and other is the spiral models. what you have to teach in phase 1, and then you have to spiral for the phase 2. Also phase 2 to phase 3, you have to connect, and from 3, 4 to 5, and then the final years. In this way, the taxonomies, cognitions, attitude, space, what is the scale of the move from the basic concepts, activate reinforcements and the assessment. This model, the first cycle, second cycle, third cycle, and fourth cycle, the learning of the both basic medical sciences, basic medical sciences, anatomy, physiology, biochemistry, pathology, pharmacology, community medicine, preventive medicine. So all these basic sciences to the clinical subjects, surgery, medicine, ENT, eye, gynae, so on, these sciences across the time, with the time. It is combination of both horizontal and vertical integration model. And most popular is one, medical education. And I think it is more successful model. It is integrated across the time and discipline. What are the taxonomies, educational taxonomies behind for these models? It's very important. So many taxonomies, but Bloom taxonomies. Taxo means organize, rearrange. Onomy means sciences. How you have to arrange your curriculum. How you have to teach your curriculum to get the objectives of this. 3 very important domains, cognitives, from simple way to complex ways. Psychomotor, also that has other level of hierarchy, effectives. So this was the first thing. This is the first, that is cognitive, start from the knowledge, comprehension, applications. As I told you, from simple to complex, analysis, synthesis, evaluation. While if you go on the affective areas, domain, we start from reacting, responding, revaluing, organizing, characterizing. In the psychomotor domains, we go from intimating, manipulating, mean doing, precising, articulating, and naturalizing. From simple things to complex things. Curriculum models classification was based, first time was classified into 2019. And this is based on the Marsh classifications. Procedural model, Tyler models, descriptor models, Walken models, conceptual models, and critical models. This is another classification of this. As I told you, it started from 1940, 49 to up to this, so many models, about 82 years. The first important model was Tyler models. The general objective that successfully passes through the 2 screens become what are now popularly known as instructional. This is also called instructional model. This model became very popular because it was based on different questions. The Tyler suggested that if he's constructing the model, designing the models, developing the models, the developer should have certain questions in their brains. of Tyler's main four questions is the purpose, the contents, the procedure, the evaluation. If I go in detail of this one, first question, what is the purpose means? According to the stakeholders. And contents, educational experience and contents, procedure, how effectively design it, how can we determine that these experiences are being attained. The stakeholders are there. According to this style or model, there are the three main stakeholders. One is your students. You are going to teach the students. These are your learners. It's a society that these learners, doctors will go in the society to treat them. And the subject matters. What are their specialties matters, this one. And the foundation of this Tyler model was based on the philosophical and psychological. First questions, how setting this objective. Before developing any model, you should first of all set the goals, set the objectives. After setting the objectives, suppose you are going to, in your medical college, you are going to make the doctors. And for doctors, what contents you will require to teach them, and what will be their learning experience. How you will organize this one, how you will teach these things. And after this, how you will assess that your objective, you obtained your objectives, you have gained your objective, or you failed, this is the objective. This is the assessment. Identification of the objectives means setting up the objective. Selection learning model, that is the learning experience and contents model. Organizing learning experiences, basically what behaviors will be the learning demonstrate the proximity. This is the simplest way of connecting these four questions to making finalizing. Why do you need instructional model, Tyler model? When clearly defined objectives are lacking, there is no sound basis for selecting or designing of the instructional material, contents, or models. If you do not know where you are going, it is very difficult to select a suitable means for getting there. That's why instructional model was important. To find out whether or not the objective has in fact been accomplished, test items designed to means whether important instructional outcome have been accomplished can be selected or created intelligently only when these instructional outcomes have been made. Good objective provides students with a means to organize their own efforts towards accomplishment of those objectives. Experience has shown that with clear objective in view, students all learning are better able to decide if you are you have designed a good model, you will get a good result. There are so many advantages, provides very easy follow-up step by step. 4 questions. It begins with a set of clear objectives that teachers must plan, task, and work towards achieving the specified outcome. It aims at students developing behavior as their target of the teachings. There are also so many disadvantages of this one. As in the beginning, I told that there's no perfect model. It does not have a feedback mechanism to tell people how to correct it. It seems lack a procedure between evaluation and organization, and this procedure is execution. For example, they do not apply to all subjects or design of the subjects or the contents. Seems curriculum development as a fixed linear process. The division of objectives at various points, steps are fixed, so the curriculum teachers are unaware of the others. It cannot account for many complex outcome of the learnings. It limits what the students can learn. It treats end and means separately. It does not indicate who decides what is worthwhile learning. It does not consider that not all learning outcomes can be measured. It fails to consider the changing environment. It fails to recognize that the futures cannot be predicted accurately and precisely. So there was another model that is called Thomas interactive models. This model, she was an excellent educationist, but the importance was introduction of his teaching model, curriculum models. It's also called decentralization, because in Tyler model, all the things are centralized to the institutions, and the model was designed according to the choice of the institutions. The main stakeholders and all the stakeholders were neglected. The powers were centralized, while she told that the curricular designing things should be decentralized. And his main thinking was that the curriculum should be from the simple to the complex, always designed in this specific. Was 1962, and she gave 7 questions. There were so advantageous. First of all is, what is the need of the country? If you are going to design a model, what is the need of the country, national, international? What is the need of the society? What is the economical need? What is the communication skill? How is the surveyed? How many doctors are required? Which type of the doctors are required? So this is first is the diagnose the need of these questions. After diagnosing the need of these questions, you have to formulate the objectives, your learning objectives. How you will fulfill the need of the first questions. How you will symbolize, have a symbiosis, these objectives. After need, after formulating objectives, you have to select the contents based upon these, also based upon, suppose you are going to make the MBBS doctors. The contents should be You have to select the contents accordingly. And after that, you have to organize the contents. Key concept. What is the key concept and ideas with these facts? That must be, these contents should be from simple to the complex, timetables, priorities, how much information from the simple to the complex leads to more tough should be based upon this one. So this organizing the content, after this, you have to select the methods. Selecting learning experience methods. Which methods you are going to use? Small group discussions, large group discussions, lectures, team-based, problem-based learning. So after this, you have to select, after this, organize the learning experiences. And what will be your teaching strategies for cognitive, affective, and psychomotor? And after this, how you will evaluate your students? Formative assessment, diagnostic assessment, or the summative assessment. Everywhere you will see that there is an input of the teacher. So this, I think this is the best model. Comparatively, not complete, it had so many advantages and disadvantages. I have already explained this diagnosis of the need nationally and internationally, and how you will formulate these objectives, learning objectives, and what will be your selection contents, and how you will organize these selection contents, selection of the learning experiences. What will be your methodology? What is the method? What will be your methodology? What will be the selection method is, how you will evaluate and means evaluation outcomes. Good model, so many advantages. Teacher is involved in directly development of the curriculum. It's good. Teachers not understand connection between the contents, activities. I think in this model, it should be, if we want to improve, should be more based on group of the teachers. Wheeler model is another model that was introduced. Actually, basically, this is the Tyler modification model. And added one more thing, that was the feedback that was lacking in actual Tyler model of the 90s. Selection and objectives, choosing learning, choosing content, organization, integration, experiences. I think this is much better as compared to this one. If failure is starting from the objective and goals, selection of the learning objectives, selection of the contents. So what is the summary? What is the nutshell? Curriculum models facilitates the structuring of planned learning activities. Educational taxonomies allow the facilitators of the learning to articulate the characteristics, behavior, knowledge, attitude we wish them to develop. These frameworks functions as a guide for the developing a range of students' experiences. They are not prescriptions. Beware of this tactic. That's its power, that they experts upon the overall learning experiences. Curriculum is a journey, and you have to design the curriculum according to the need of the society. It's a process, a long process to get the products. Process is not concerned with the methods and means where as the product looks as outcomes, the end of the products. What? There are two approaches that have been developed, normative and descriptive are instructive. Different models are based on different concepts. All of these models, linears, interactive, cylindrical, and naturalistics, are efficient, logical, and clear. They probably do not reflect actual curriculum designed practices for most teachers, but they serve a useful checklist in the tools for the documenting curriculum. Thank you so much for your patience. And these are the references. Once again, thank you so much. I am highly obliged for inviting me on this lectures of the models. So simply, there are two main models. One is the traditional models, and other is the integrated models. And the third is that is the hybrid model. So we should go from traditional to hybrid to the integrated models. The best model will give the best learners, and if the best learners are there, they are good leaders and they will develop your country. Thank you so much.